Hi folks, this is Jake at Canadian Cutting Edge, and today we're taking a look at a multi-tool by Sanrenmu. Not your typical multi-tool with pliers, but a fairly unique multi-tool that has a blade that comes out of one side and with a frame lock holding it. And on the other side, it has a multi-tool, cordage ripper, Phillips driver, nut driver, some wire strippers, and other things, as well as an LED glass breaker and a carabiner clip to hold it all together. It's a very unique little thing. If you're interested at all in something like this, and even if you're not, stick around for the full review of the Sanrenmu 6050 LUF PP T4. It comes in 4 different colors. Stay tuned. What we're looking at right here is a very unique little tool. I already mentioned at the outset the different things that are on it, at least most of them. So let's go over all of them really quickly. We've got a blade. It's a form of a chisel grind. It's a hollow grind, drop point blade, swedge up there, and flat back like a chisel grind is, but it's a hollow grind on this side. So it's a hollow chisel grind. Interesting. Blade on this side. Close that off. On the back here, there's nothing. This little R is just the logo for Sanrenmu, and it's just a place to hold. And then at the back, we've got a glass breaker with a tungsten tip inside. We've got a carabiner for a way to carry it, or whatever you want to do with a carabiner, attach it to a big set of keys or whatever. And on the other side, we've got a light. You press that button, the light comes on. And we've got this tool that swings out. Let's turn it around this way to take a good look at it. And it's got different kind of stripping things here. A round one here in a V shape there. You can use that for wire stripping. I'm sure you can use it for a number of different kinds of things. We've got a belt cutter, cordage cutter. You could cut a seat belt with that if you need to get out. We've got a flat Phillips tip. So that's one of those Phillips that's mostly flat, but then it's got a little bit of an indent there, and that's one of the smaller sizes of Phillips, not the standard 2. And then we've got a nut driver on the inside, and as you can see with those numbers on there, it's a 10, 8, 6, and 4 millimeter nut driver. And that's basically what you've got, all of those features. I don't have time to go through all of those things to show them to you, just because, that's the way it is. People don't want to watch a half-hour review, although I could easily talk for half an hour about this knife because of all the features. Let's talk about the blade first. 8CR14 MOV steel. I mentioned the other things about the blade. We've got a stonewash on there. I should talk about the handle scales before I forget. This is PA66. That's a polyamide, kind of a nylon material. And then this is a softer kind of section in the black here, kind of like a rubber, kind of soft kind of grip. And that's all that you've got on there. Everything else is steel. Inside the pivots, you've got, I'll show you what the inside looks like because there is phosphor bronze washers in there. That's pretty cool, right? And, there's no blade play. Everything's built nice and snug. Everything works. These are frame locks, basically, that do the work here. And on the frame lock, you can see that little bit of a dot right there. That's your detent to hold it when it's closed. And the blade, you can't cut yourself on the blade when it's closed. You can rub your finger across here all you want all day long, and it's not going to get cut. Really good design with all these different features. We've even got a sharpener's choil on this little blade. They've done everything that you want on a little knife. So let's talk about the dimensions. This cutting edge, 4.7 centimeters, 1.8 inches. The blade length, so I counted from the center of the pivot point to the tip of the blade, 5.5 centimeters, 2.2 inches. The blade thickness is 2.2 millimeters, which is 0.085 inches. If I do the behind the grind measuring, that's 0.5 millimeter right there, which is 0.019 inches. The handle length, and this time I measured just from the end of the green handle here to, the end of the steel here. 8.7 centimeters, which is 3.4 inches. So the grip area, same kind of thing, same numbers. The handle thickness, so the thickest spot is where these green spots flare out right there and right there. That is 1.3 centimeters, just over 0.5 inch, 0.525 inches. The total length when the blade is deployed, and this time I measured from the end of the handle where this carabiner is, not the tungsten tip here, just the end of the carabiner to the tip of the blade, 14 centimeters, 5.5 inches. This thing weighs 75 grams, which is 2.6 ounces. And if you want to buy this from GearBest, there's two different prices. The green version is the lower cost. That's why I bought this one. $9.46 US and no shipping. And in Canadian, that's $13.29. The other colors are black, a light brown, so a coyote type color, and I can't remember off the top of my head what the third color is, but all the other colors are $10.36 US or $14.28 Canadian. So let's quickly talk about the details of what I like and don't like on this thing and what's unique and special about it. And then we're just going to wrap up the video. I'm going to do a little bit of cut test as well. So unique things, a hollow chisel grind, very uncommon. So that's a very unique thing. It's kind of funny how it's got a little bit of a thumb stud and a hole on the blade there. Same thing on the tool here. You can do it the same way. You can open by putting your finger in the hole and pushing out, or using that little bit of a bump. That is a thumb stud. Kind of cool. Easy to deploy. Lockup happens every time. You're not going to flick it. That's not the kind of tool that this is. You see a little bit of oil in there. When I took it apart and I put it back together again, I took it apart to show you the washers in there, the phosphor bronze washers. I put a little bit too much oil on there. Sorry about that. It's a cool tool. It cuts well, not great, but let's show you how well it cuts. Here's some paracord. Zips through that pretty easy. Here's some wood, and that chisel grind can really grab. I should get under the screen, right? That chisel grind can really grab and get to work. And you can really cut with this thing. It works quite well with having that. Oops, sorry about knocking the camera around. That chisel grind works quite well, and it's cut kind of nicely. The grind is kind of uneven. They took a little more steel off there than they did off here. It's still sharp, so not bad. It's really easy to sharpen a knife like this since you're only sharpening one side. And you just, sharpen the one side, and there you go. You don't have to worry about trying to get everything absolutely even and lined up, because the one side is all you need, and you don't need to match it with the other side. The tools on here are quite cool. I like the cordage ripper. We'll try that with a paracord. So we'll do that paracord test again, and it just zips through there even easier than the knife cut it. It can cut a seatbelt very easily. Let's try this kind of stuff. We've got that MOLLE banding, and it'll cut through that very easily. If I got to get a little bit longer piece so I can get a good grip on it here. And then you just sort of feed it through there. Whoa, I knocked that camera flying, didn't I? But it cut it very well. No problem at all. Let's fix that camera up a little bit. Sorry about that, guys. Hope I didn't knock anybody off their chair of a reaction to that. It's hard to do these videos sometimes when you've got such very little space underneath here to work with. Let's get some paper and show you a little paper cut test. Here's my notes for this particular video. Let's see how well the blade deals with paper. No problem at all. Very easy. Cuts great. It's a good knife. It's a great little knife to take along in a bug-out bag. When you go camping, put something like this in your glove box in your car. You know, there's 101 different uses for something like this. And the greatest little thing that I think they added was this little LED. I'll show you what it looks like when you take the cover off. See that? The battery is easy to replace. So it's no problem. Once the battery dies on it, you put the other battery in. There's nothing like a sealed in battery here that, you know, once the life is done on it, it's no good anymore. You know, this is good enough for you to, you know, get to your car. Can't find the opening and stuff. It's a really dark night. Your house, you know, you get to the door and you can't find the hole to put your key in, and no problem. Really great to have a little light like this. And then to top it off, the glass breaker has a tungsten tip on it. So there you go. It's a really, really cool device. And this nut driver with the frame lock locking, you can drive nuts with a fair degree of force. You know, not a whole lot, of course. You're not going to get a whole bunch of torque off of it, but it works. You can drive nuts with that thing. Not bad at all. I like this little unit. For the price, it's a no-brainer. I think everybody should probably get one and throw it in the glove box of their car. It's good to have those kinds of tools, or in your camping bag, or as I said, you know, whatever, your bug-out bag, whatever. What's the cons on this thing? Well, a small con, if I'm being picky, is that uneven grind that they did on there. Not a big deal. But it cuts okay. And that's the only con that I have for this thing. There's nothing else that I don't like about it. It's small, light. It works well, easy to carry. A lot of different features in a small package. All Torx construction everywhere. It's a good little knife. Multi-tool. Light. Glass breaker. You got so much here in a small little package, and everything is nice and sharp. So if you want to get one of these, please use my GearBest links in the description below. It's a great way to help this channel without it costing you anything extra at all. I need extra income to help pay for all the things on this channel. And thank you so much for watching. If you're not yet a subscriber, please consider subscribing and then click that bell so you'll be notified of every single video. Thank you for liking this video, even if you don't like this device. If you think I did a half-decent video, click that like, please. And tell your friends about this channel. And remember to always cut towards your chum, that is your buddy, your friend, your pal, and not your thumb.